The High Court in Johannesburg is set to hear a case brought by the United Democratic Movement, ActionSA and several other applicants. The group, made up of political parties and civil society, wants to declare government's response to the rolling blackouts in the country unconstitutional and in breach of fundamental human rights. In a statement today, ActionSA says an answering affidavit deposed by former Eskom CEO Andre de Ruyter proves that government's decisions as far back as 1998 are directly to blame for load shedding. Well, parts of that affidavit say, according to ActionSA, with the building of new power stations delayed for over a decade, Eskom has had to run its aging coal fleet at a higher usage level, which is against norms and standards. Let's talk more about this then with one of the parties involved in this litigation, UDM leader General Bantu Holomisa, joining us tonight. General Holomisa, very good evening to you. I'd imagine that you too have now seen this affidavit by Andre de Ruyter. Do you also believe, as ActionSA does, that it in fact helps to prove your case in the High Court?
Well, we have heard what Ruyter is saying, but we will see when the matter is debated. It's discussed by the lawyers first, and then on the 20th of March, the case will be heard by a full bench in Pretoria. Then it is where then the truth will be sifted in that forum. For now, it's just politics.
Mm-hmm. And in his responding affidavit, the President says that there's been an energy action plan that builds on and adds to prior measures in response to load shedding. He goes on to talk about fixing Eskom's coal-powered stations and improving the availability of existing supply, enabling private investment in generation capacity, accelerating procurement, unleashing businesses and households to invest in rooftop solar, which speaks to that other part of your case, does it not, where you want government to make a plan available. Why does that plan that was made public last year not speak to what you require?
Well, there's no government here. We must not waste our time. These guys only react when there is a crisis. They have no foresight. So, how many years has South Africa been engulfed by this load shedding? And every now and again they come up with different stories. Let's wait and go to court. In court they are going to be asked questions under oath, including the companies which they said they've given, the countries, the government monies which have been given to Eskom. They must come there and account. That's what we want for now.
Mm-hmm. So they say, government in its response, that it's not true that they've been stuck in a state of paralysis and not acted at all to respond to load shedding.
We will prove that they have not acted at all. Instead, they have been pouring money without accounting for it. In fact, it's the same ANC government which lied to the South Africans that they are going to build 2 plants, Medupi and Kusile. Guess what? They came back carrying a baby called Chancellor House, who partnered with Hitachi. Where are those billions? Must we be responsible to pay for that debt? We will hear them in court. They are going to reply, I hope so.
Mm. Let me get your thoughts on another issue today. The ATM saying it wants the former Eskom CEO Andre de Ruyter to be called before Parliament to answer questions based on that TV interview that he gave last week, making claims about massive corruption, claiming that at least 2 cabinet members were involved and that he informed another member of cabinet about what was going on, but no action was taken. And reports today by the City Press and the report that the person he reported to was allegedly Pravin Gordhan. Your take?
We support a call for Mr. Ruyter to account to Parliament or account to the nation. So ATM is in the right direction. However, how I wish that our lawyers could get in contact with him and give us more information, because the programming of Parliament might delay for ATM to get Reuters to come forward, because the Speaker is so biased. So I don't think they will allow quickly for him to come there. But if the Parliament, if our lawyers were to sit down with him and come up with more information and possibly supply or give us an affidavit to corroborate what was contained in the city press today, as well as what he had said publicly after he resigned. Otherwise, these guys are in a tight corner, because it's clear that ESCOM has been used by them as a cash cow for the ANC, and we cannot fold our arms all the time. They must come forward.
If he does not name names or give specifics about which ministers were allegedly involved in the corruption, which minister he reported such actions to, where would that leave us?
I don't think you should worry about that, because what is needed is to get that report, which was investigated by private investigators, which caused him to go and meet Pravin and told him about the corruption at ESCOM and allegedly those two ministers. But I don't think we should panic for now. It's lekker. It's lekker. It's nice. It's coming up nicely.
Do you think that Andre de Ruyter himself was a mere victim in this situation, or should he too face some form of reckoning, accountability for failing as the head of ESCOM to get a handle on load shedding? Because the reality is it did get worse during the 3 years that he was in charge. Is he just a victim of politicians and cartels?
He is. All of them are victims. They have failed the country, from the president up to him, because they are not telling us the truth as to what is the cause of load shedding. Earlier on, we were told that the coal is wet, the quality of the coal is mixed with the stones, there's sabotage. Now he comes up with a different version, talking about there were two ministers who have got an interest, or have got an interest in ESCOM. Sorry, we are not impressed with those stories. Everybody must come to court.
Let me get your reaction to something else that Andre de Ruyter said in the interview. He says, as far as the coal cartels are concerned, after talking about the own alleged attempt on his life where he was poisoned, he says in Mpumalanga people are basically assassinated weekly because these coal cartels are so powerful. Do you think that'll prevent us from getting to the full extent of the truth as far as what's gone on with the corruption at ESCOM, which by Andre de Ruyter's estimate goes into about R1 billion a month?
Well, the president and the Minister of Police and Intelligence, they are still in charge of that department, or they should be the ones who must address the nation on these allegations.
UDM leader General Bantu Holomisa, good to speak to you, sir. Thank you for your time tonight.